What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to some more Armored Warfare, where today we're going to take my first proper look at the Tier 9 T-90MS, the Russian main battle tank, with its beastly 125mm gun. So before we get into the gameplay, we're going to look at a PvP match and a PvE match as well, because the PvE match was quite funny. I just thought I'd show you guys how I have set this thing up, because I actually had to redo my retrofits, because I was still kind of setting it up like any other tank that I normally would, you know, more damage, maybe some more normalization, that sort of thing. However, Tier 9 is a bit different. The weak points on the front of most Tier 9 main battle tanks are tiny. For example, I mean, if you want to know how to pen a T-90MS, this is one of the easier ones to penetrate. Lower front plate, especially around this middle area, or you can get it in here in this area and try and hit the driver's port. And those are pretty much the full damage weak spots on the front of this thing, and you can get the hatches and that. But if you can get one through here, you can probably also jam the turret. But my favorite is this. Now, Leopard 2A6 with this applies to the one with the armor package. Without the armor package, you can shoot it in this kind of area, and the driver's hatch, you can go through there. But with the armor package, that's the weak spot. This tiny little sight up here is the frontal weak spot that takes full damage. So if he's facing you, you can see how small it is. So Tier 9 seems to be all about accuracy. So that's kind of what I had to do with my T-90MS. So I fitted Chrome Barrel Lining Mark III for a slight increase in damage and a 15% improvement to the minimum accuracy. Hull reinforcement, obviously, and then the augmented breech lock. Slight improvement in reload time, but again, the minimum accuracy is improved by 15%. So if we quickly go to details and we'll look here, you can see my accuracy spread is 0.06 degrees, which will be better when my crew, which are both level 3, when my gunner gets to level 4 and 5, and I could also potentially make it better by using, the energy drink, which was a 5% boost to my crew skills. So that is how I've set up my T-90MS running with Freya, and we're now going to jump off into the PvP match, and then afterwards we're going to have a look at a PvE match. So I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, and welcome to the PvP match. We are on Cold Strike. Now, I guess you could say I got the idea for running my T-90MS in this setup by watching a video by someone on YouTube called Uralfish, I think it was, and he showed off his 5 best T-90MS games out of the 100 or so he had done at that point, and they were just absolutely incredible. Every match he was doing 10,000 damage, sometimes more, and I was just like amazed with how small his maximum accuracy circle was. So I kind of looked at what he was doing and have tried to emulate it. Those videos were from before the sort of reload exploit was cut out of the game, back when you could run both the protein bars and the energy drinks together at the same time. So I doubt you could get it to quite the same levels that he had, but you can still do a pretty good job. And I have to say, it has seemed to work out a little bit. I'm still struggling a little bit with my ping and my lag. You've already seen some of it, but thankfully in this battle, it's not going to be too much of an issue. Another battle I had later on in the evening was also on Cold Strike, but we had started on the other side. It got me killed completely because I poked out to take some shots at some guys, and I had a ping spike up to 2,500 milliseconds, I think, and I started reversing, and we're popping out. We've got an Ariete who's just sitting there. We're looking for that spot at the front, just where his sort of applique armor doesn't cover, and we managed to get our first penetrating hit, 691 damage. There's a Leopard 2A6, fire one as he's backing up, and he turns a bit, only do critical module damage though. And unfortunately we take a hit from a Centauro 120 who's camping out sort of down at the back. I didn't quite realize that he had line of sight to fire at me. So we're just going to move out again. But yeah, I had this ping spike of 2,500. I was pulling back on my screen, then I warped forward again. I started pulling back, I warped forward again, started pulling back, I warped forward again. I actually just took my hands off the keyboard because I was like, what am I supposed to do? So we got a Challenger 2 here. We're going to take a shot and try and put it through his driver's hatch. Unfortunately, I think we aimed a little bit too far to the right, so we didn't quite find the sweet spot. Aiming in again, firing, but this time we're a little bit to the left, and we bounce once again. You will find in Tier 9, you do bounce an awful lot. And again, that one looked pretty good, so just unlucky, I guess. But now he's kind of stopped, and there we go. We put one straight through, 809 damage, and I think what's that is gun breach. We managed to damage there. So another shot in, and again we penetrate, 787 damage. And here comes another Challenger 2. And this has been, and another penetration, by far my best match in Tier 9 so far. I really am still just trying to figure it out and where to shoot tanks and that sort of thing. 700 damage. He manages to put a shot into us, presumably through our lower front plate. And I mean, the Challenger 2's gun is pretty awful. I don't know where that shot went. And we take a shot from behind, and it's an Ariete. I mean, the Challenger 2's gun is 514 pen, I think, with the top ammo. And if that thing can penetrate the lower front plate, and that there actually was that was another lag spike. I had decided to go around the corner and turn, but it just didn't pick it up, and I ended up going around with my side facing the freaking Ariete. That made me very, very unhappy. But we're putting shots through his, I guess that's his gunner sight. Unfortunately, he dips down on that one just as we take the shot, and we don't manage to connect. But I mean, you can see with these retrofits, pretty good accuracy, 708 damage, and we get the kill. But not only that, good, about 5% increase to our damage, but also reloads down to 6.6 seconds, which is really nice. Shot into the side of the Thunderbolt, 701 damage, and he sort of goes for a jump, and if we had fired a fraction earlier, we might have actually been able to hit him in mid-air. A little bit unfortunate, but we are actually on 2 hit points. That Ariete went for our one of our Cupolas, Commander's Cupola, or whatever on top, did 203 damage and left us on 2 hit points. Centauro 120 pokes out a little bit too far, shot in, 754 damage on an overmatch. Heat would have been great there. And unfortunately, the stupid car gets in the way. And I take the shot, but I knew what was going to happen. The car was going to eat the shot and he was going to get away, but I could not risk pushing out with 2 hit points because, for all we know, he could have switched to high explosive. And that would have been a perfect situation for him to do it. But anyway, the team has done fantastically well. 11-2, all that remains are 2 T-90MSs, and we kind of have an idea of where they are. So we're racing to try and get behind them and try and get a shot in. Coming around the corner, the one is on perilously low health. He'll be dead before we get a shot on target. Then there he goes. The other one is still on full health, so we're trying desperately to get behind him. Can we get more damage in? We should have continued driving forward here. Anyway, we put a shot in, and he stops just at the wrong moment. And instead of going into the back of his engine, it only does critical track damage, which was really unfortunate. But anyway, it's just under 7,000 reputation, 283,500 credits, 6,707 damage. So I'm fairly pleased with that, although I would have liked one more penetrating hit to put that to, what, 7,300, 7,400 or so. 2,500 spotting damage and 6 spots. We came second place on the team by reputation and by damage. And if we had gotten that last shot in, we very nearly might have come top on damage if we had gotten a good roll. Enemy team, Challenger 2, came first with 1,800 base reputation and doing a fairly respectable 3,100 damage, which is not too bad with the awful penetration of that gun. But anyways, let's head off to the PVE match and go and have some fun against the bots. Alright, and welcome to the PVE match. It is on Operation Direwolf, and if you look up at the team list, you can see that this is perhaps not going to be the easiest PVE mission. There's some nice lag. Myself and the Challenger 2 are the only main battle tanks and the only tier 9s. Then we have a Ramka, a Warrior, and a BMP-3M. So 2 main battle tanks and 3 armored fighting vehicles. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit tough. But anyways, we're moving in on the first position, and up top on the hill we have an Ariete. Take the shot. Just under 700 damage, but we got a Thunderbolt coming down as well. Ramka or something with an autocannon's putting shots into him. 820 damage there, so a very nice roll. And we probably won't be able to finish him off in one more shot, so we put a shot into the Thunderbolt just to try and help our Warrior here, so that he can finish him off really quickly. Ariete still just waiting to die, 705 damage, not the best roll. And he has another Ramka, but the warrior finishes off the Ariete. And we're just waiting for this Ramka to poke out. There he is. Take a shot without aiming in, and unfortunately we just do module damage to his guns, I believe. Another Thunderbolt, aiming in, rush, or not rush the shot, but take a shot that perhaps we shouldn't have, and we narrowly miss. So moving up here, we kind of have to try and be aggressive and try and be in the faces of these AI, or at least try and keep them focused on us. Shot in 584 damage, and we managed to get our first kill of the match. But I mean, you can see some of our AFV friends have already taken some fairly serious damage. Shot into that Abrams, managed to finish him off, and a Stingray who spawned right in front of us on top of a wreck. So he shot in 778 damage, and he did not last very long at all. Noob bot, am I right? So here we have another Thunderbolt, 817 damage, so a nice roll there. Terminator 2, but you can see, I mean, our Ramka 99's on 400 hit points already. Shot in 767 damage, do some critical damage to his engine, but not enough to knock it out. And one of our teammates finishes him off. So our teammates have already been engaging the AI for this roadblock, so thankfully the secondary objective will be taken care of quite quickly. We stop to try and aim in on this Abrams, and unfortunately our warrior rams us, do a bit of damage, and we take the shot on the Abrams just as he disappears behind some hard cover. 747 damage, track and engine, and he is out. So we have now completed the secondary objective, and we will soon be moving on to holding the second defense point of this mission. We're going to move around in this direction, and we're going to start turn to right and head towards the second defense point. And of course soon we will be joined by many more delicious AI bots to shoot at. Terminator 2 spawns in behind us. Unfortunately we don't have a shot, and artillery has fired at us, does very minimal damage, which is lucky. Stingray 2 on the move, and we managed to do nearly 720 damage. The warrior is down to very, very low health. Paladin is still shooting at us, another 690 damage done. And one thing about these T-90s is they really, really hate artillery fire. They receive just stupid amounts of damage from tier 8 artilleries. Yeah, a little bit silly. Pop over, get my track taken off. And I think this Thunderbolt is going to put a shot into me. There we go, 525 damage. But, you know, they're on the cap. We've kind of got to get over there. And I want to try and move around the side to where I can at least go over without exposing my lower front plate. But unfortunately, BMD4 gets another high explosive shot into me and removes my tracks once again. Now there's just 20 seconds left, so we've just got to go for it. M1A2 puts a shot into our rear, 409 damage. Going for the ram on the Thunderbolt, 100 odd damage done. But we ourselves are now down to 557. Once again we've been tracked. Challenger finishes off the BMD 4. Got this Ramka 99 here, bit of lag. We're going to put our gun towards this Abrams to try and get him to focus on us rather than the rear end of our Challenger. We have had to burn our field maintenance kit, but soon after that we take another shot to the sides from an M8 Thunderbolt. And as you can see, we've lost all our armored fighting vehicle allies. Challenger finishes him off, but right now it's just myself and the Challenger, and we still have a few seconds remaining on this defense point and then one more. So this is going to be very interesting. Shot into the lower plate of the Ramka, 793 damage. He's putting fire into us with his autocannons. They can't really do a whole lot. 688 kill his driver, I believe. And there we have a Thunderbolt. And again, he fires at us and gets us in the side. I should have remembered he was there, but at the time I had forgotten, and then as I kind of remembered was pretty much moments before he shot into our sides. So we've at least managed to put him down to very low health. We'll finish him off with that shot, but we are now on 291 hit points. So I'm reversing here because I don't know if there is anything else, and there we go, some autocannon fire. We've got a T-90 coming up over the hill, shot into his engine, 710 damage, but we only damage his fuel tank. But we're taking autocannon fire from the front, and we've just finished the defense of this point. BMP T-72 gets a high explosive autocannon shell into us, does 12 damage, so we're now down to 279. Now I think I'm kind of out of the line of fire, so I think I'm safe to turn around. Got a Leopard 2A6 and an Abrams. Just waiting to see what he does, and a bit of lag there, unfortunately. High explosive from the Leopard down to 192. Leopard has turned his gun towards the Challenger, so we put a shot into the back of its turret, 804 damage and some damage to the ammo rack. Just trying to keep on the move now, because we do know that this guy is firing high explosive, which we can do nothing about. Another shot, 721 damage, and finish him off. Now we got this Abrams to worry about. Was considering doing a shot on that Terminator, but he disappeared. Unfortunately, we didn't quite manage to make that shot, and only did critical track damage. But now he is moving against some more lag, and again he turns as we fire. Bit unfortunate, but what can you do? Now we've got a better side shot, just waiting on the reload. We take his track off and we set him on fire, knock him down, pretty much out the match, but the Challenger finishes him off. But now the enemy is capturing the final point. Got less than a minute until it is captured and we lose the match, so I now have to make a move, let him finish off. That was a Terminator or Ramco or something. But anyways, there we got a Terminator 2, thankfully not firing high explosive. Shot in, 799 damage. He takes a shot from the Challenger as well, and he's down to very, very low health, but at least we have reset the cap. Shot him to the side of that Terminator 2, 827 damage done. Gonna finish this guy off, I think. No, this guy decides to block this bot, so he will receive our shell, and thankfully it takes it down to only one bot in the cap. This Leopard climbing all over some wrecks, gets some damage, but we take some more high explosive. We're down to 121 hit points. Leopard's not really giving us a great shot on him. More high explosive damage, and we take a shot at his rear, but just as he starts to turn the other way. Pop my smoke and start to back off. He's got a side to us, 362 damage. Finish him off for our 7th kill. Just waiting to see if we got a shot on this Challenger. Still got a minute and a half until this match ends. Minute and a half and on 57 hit points. I was very, very worried at this point. Hell, I was very worried exactly when our AFVs all died. 746 damage on that BMP T-72. But this Challenger, we're trying to see if we can get a shot into his driver's hatch, but no such luck. So we take a shot at the green pen marker on his commander's hatch, but no joy. So just taking a shot on this T-90 as it pulls around out the corner. 829 damage done on him. But we still got to be very careful. Challenger got his turret, the rear of his turret pointing towards us, put a shell in, 484 damage. Another high explosive hit from a Leopard, 2 hit points. Shot into the track of the T-90. I was going for the lower front plate, but unfortunately he just kind of started turning as I was aiming into the engine. Tracked him, 816 damage, but we can't take anything more. Another shot in, 20 damage to finish him off. I wish the Challenger would have focused on one of the other ones. Leopard coming out, thankfully he turns his gun to face the Challenger. Shot in, 771 damage, but now we got to back up out of the line of fire, and we just got to make sure that we don't pop back in front of him while his gun is pointing at us. Another shot going in, 701 damage, 3 seconds remaining. We pop out, the match has ended, we put a shot into his side, and 10th kill, 28,300 damage, and what an end to that match. 6,500 reputation, 73,800 credits, as I said, 28,302 damage, 16 assists, 10 kills, and I think that is supporter for getting the most assists, master gunner perhaps, and target for receiving the most hits on our team. And as you can see, this was the match that I ranked Freya up to level 5. Second place on the team, 12,000 damage more than the Challenger, and he beats us by 95 reputation, probably due to all those extra spots He got 27, we got 12. T-90MS has terrible view range. But a fantastic little PvE game nonetheless. That was a lot of fun and quite heart-stopping towards the end. But anyways, that is it for this video. Don't forget, leave a comment down below to stand a chance to win one of the remaining codes I have for the Chieftain Mark 6 leader. I'm just going to pick codes at random. So leave a comment to stand a chance to win. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more Armored Warfare, World of Warships, and a few other things that are thrown into the mix from time to time. But that is it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.